Hi there, I'm State Representative Justin Chenette.
And I'm State Senator Linda Valentino, and this is another edition of Bringing Augusta to You.
And we're here in the Appropriations Committee room, a room that you're pretty familiar with.
I live here pretty much 5 days a week.
As you can tell with the files on her desk. So we're just going to delve into some of the things that we've dealt with this past week. The Portland Press Herald has come out and endorsed my PAC reform, the Political Action Committee reform that is so critically important to try to end special interest influence up here in Augusta through fundraising through political action committees known as leadership PACs. And so it was huge for the Portland Press Herald to come out and support that broad initiative, and Senator Valentino is a co-sponsor of it, has been a champion of PAC reform for many, many years, and so it's an issue we both really care about, so it was nice to see that, and we're taking the message on the road so that we can fire up the public, so we can get you involved in this process to pressure our colleagues to finally get somewhere on campaign finance reform regarding these leadership PACs. And we're doing a number of radio interviews, WZON in Bangor, we're doing WGAN in Portland. A lot of different radio stations are coming out and wanting to talk about this in a very public way, and so we'll look forward to that.
And I also had a very busy week. We're actually starting to get into the bill process. I've been spending all of my time in the Appropriations Committee during public hearings, but I actually testified on 3 different bills this week. One of them was on Poland Springs. I represent Hollis. There's over 800 employees for Poland Spring that live in my district, and they were trying again for the 3rd time over 6 years to put a tax that would only affect Poland Spring from extracting water. There were lots of people up here testifying in opposition to the bill, and I, along with Don Marian, who represents Hollis, both testified in opposition. Plus I had one of my own bills over in the Labor Committee, and that was to extend a deadline on a film bill that I had put in a couple of years ago. And the other bill that was very interesting and was written up in the Journal Tribune was one on fraudulent checks, unsolicited checks that you get in the mail. We're all very familiar with those. You get them, they have your name on it, and there's got to be a way to stop. Actually, I'm meeting tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock with someone from the Attorney General's office, also the Bureau of Financial Services, and we're going to be working through this before we go back to the committee.
And half of the over 1,500 bills that have been submitted are now referred to committees of jurisdiction. So these are where, like the Appropriations Committee, really delving into all of the bills that we're testifying on various committees. And I was in front of the Labor Committee, better known as LCRED. It's the Labor Research and Economic Development Committee. Part of our delegation, Representative Ryan Fecto, is also of Biddeford, is on the committee, and I was testifying in support of my bill regarding breaks for employees, and this is really important. It's something I didn't really know about until 2 constituents really brought this to my attention. These constituents work at convenience stores, and they feel pressured to not take breaks, and they are not allowed to take breaks, whether it be restroom breaks, whether it be meal breaks, for a long period of time, with a 6-hour shift. If you look at your own life and your own work, imagine not being able to use the restroom. Imagine not being able to have a meal to sustain yourself. This is just human decency. So this bill is really important. Obviously, a lot of different business groups came out against it, but again, much like whether it be the 8-hour workday, whether it be child labor laws, sometimes we have to step up. And this requirement is in place. So basically this exemption is for businesses that have 3 or fewer employees working at any given time. So this really targets people of a certain job type. So like, for instance, convenience store workers. So we'll see where that bill heads in the weeks ahead.
We also had a very busy week as far as constituents coming up. The halls have been filled with people. We had Agricultural Day the other day. My husband actually came up for Ag Day. They had a lot of displays up here in the Hall of Flags, plus they have a big luncheon at the Grange. Unfortunately, I was in committee all day and in session, so I wasn't able to partake other than to run down quick and say hi and get a picture taken. Also, I had Allison Leary up today. She's a dairy farmer in Saco, and she was testifying before the Ag Committee, so I ran over to give her a little bit of support on her testimony before the Ag Committee. And it was also Labor Labor Day at the State House. So Roger Gay was up with a lot of other people from SACO on the unions, talking to us about various bills that they're concerned with this session.
It's always great to have constituents come up, and also, obviously, if you have a child that wants to page, there's a program. You can actually visit both of our websites to learn more information about that. We want constituents to come up and actually see the process and talk to us about specific bills. And actually, there's a great opportunity for you to talk to us specifically about the budget. We have a forum we're planning.
And that's one of the things in appropriations this week, we were meeting in combination with the education committee. We went through higher education, we went through pre-K, and also K through 12. So we're getting a better handle on the budget now, what's in it, and what some of the maybe unintended consequences are. So Representative Chanette, Representative Hobbins, and myself are going to be having a forum. It's going to be March 21st, Saco City Hall at 10 o'clock in the morning.
On a Saturday.
Which
is perfect. So if you're out at the post office and getting your mail, you can come on down and talk to us about, the budget. Your questions hopefully will be answered, and we'll give a nice, really a big overview.
I'm also doing one this Saturday with Senator Dew Trumbull in his district over in Biddeford. Plus I have one planned for Old Orchard Beach, Hollis, and Leamington. So watch these updates, and we'll tell you the dates and times on the others. But for me, it's been a good week in Augusta, a very, very busy week.
And we'll see you right back here next week.
Thank you.